Hey everyone, welcome back. Today I'm going to be giving you a review on the new Makeup by Mario Surreal Skin Foundation. I'm excited to go over this with all of you and give you guys some more details on this foundation. So this foundation retails for $42. He calls it Surreal Skin because of the luminosity and the flexibility that you get when it is applied to the skin. This formula is a radiant, luminous foundation. So if you're not into luminous foundations or radiant foundations, then this is not going to be for you. So I've been testing out this product for 5 days now, and I ran to Sephora the day that it launched and picked it up. In the bottle itself, you'll see little flecks of shimmer, and I found that quite interesting when I was sitting down looking at it. After I had purchased it, I was like, wow, that's a first. I haven't seen anything like that. And I said to myself, how is this going to end up looking on the skin? So I came home that night and I put it on right away, and I was so impressed by it. If you follow me on TikTok, you saw that I did a couple of different reviews on this foundation. I did that first day wearing it. I also did it a whole day 8-hour wear, and then I also did a application with the Beauty Blender. So today I'm going to show you how it applies on camera utilizing a foundation brush. This foundation comes in 30 shades, and I look at it as 5 categories of shades, okay? There's 6 shades per category, and basically it starts at like fair light, then it goes to light, then it goes to medium, then it goes to medium deep, and then it goes to dark. What I did when I went to go purchase this is I actually did the shade finder on the Sephora site, and it came up with 2 shades. It came up with 5N, which I had originally looked at. It was like a toss-up for me between 4C and 5N, and then it also came up with 7C. So I went and got both. I tried the 5N first, and it was perfect. There's a possibility I maybe could have went 1 shade down to 4C, but I think it would have been just too light for me. I'm okay when a foundation is just a little bit deeper than what I normally am, because I try to match it to my neck and my chest. That's really important to me. And then what I'll do is if it's a little too deep, I'll just go in with concealer and I'll lighten it up in certain spots. And that's really what typically works for me. And it works when I'm working with my clients as well. It's just something I've been doing for almost 20 years now when I work with my clients. Now let's get back to the foundation. So this is infused with grapeseed oil and vegetable squalene. Basically what that is going to do, that is going to give you a glow. Grapeseed oil is a great carrier oil to really give luminosity to the skin, especially if you have dry skin. It's going to help with that. The consistency for me on this foundation is it's a liquid foundation, but it's not super liquidy. So when I put it on my hand, and I'll show you guys now, you can see that it doesn't really fall down super fast and like drip down. It holds really well onto the skin. I didn't find that it moved around a lot as I was applying it. Like some are so liquidy that you really have to take your time to like blend it in. I didn't feel that way with this foundation, which was nice. There is definitely a beautiful glow that you're going to get from this foundation. I had seen it almost immediately when I originally applied it, and I continue to see it as I'm wearing it every day now, as this is my 5th day. If you have oily skin and you are not into radiant foundations, then this is certainly not going to be for you, so you can totally pass this. I think that this foundation is going to do really, really well in the next year coming up, especially for spring and summer, because it's going to be all about that glow, all about that luminosity on the skin. And 1 pump is probably going to be more than enough to give you really that beautiful look. Now, I did apply 2 pumps in a previous video that I posted, and it really did look beautiful. But I find that 1 pump for me is more than enough. I have a little bit of breakout here from the holiday, and I felt like it did a pretty good job at covering it up. But when you're dealing with radiant and luminous foundations that are supposed to mimic your skin, sometimes you're going to see some things peek through. So if you want to color correct before putting on this foundation, absolutely do so. Would I have liked to have seen a demi matte from him? Absolutely 100%, because I feel like a demi matte is just a little bit more flexible for most skin types. But that's okay, because if you powder this down, it will look really well on your skin. So with that said, let's get into it, and I want to show you how I apply it using my foundation brush. And any questions, you guys let me know. Let's go. I'm going in with my normal skincare routine. You guys know that I use the doTERRA Barrage, and I'm gonna go in with 2 drops of frankincense. I'm not a huge fan of primers, and I'm not a huge fan of oversaturating the skin with serums and moisturizers, because I find that the products will slip and slide around. Just putting on a little bit of eye cream. Okay, gonna shake this up. And I am going to start with 1 pump. Honestly, I've been trying this out. This is my 5th day, and I find that 1 pump is more than enough. I like when I apply a foundation, I like to start with 1 pump, because this way you'll get to see if you need more coverage, okay? And it also gives you the opportunity to see the beauty of the product itself. So I like to apply foundation in a stippling motion, and then I swipe. So I blended everything in nicely, and I didn't even use the whole pump, just to let you know. And I hope you guys are able to see it, what a skin-like finish I'm getting on my face right now. You could still see my skin peeking through a little bit. So I'm gonna add the rest of this just to build, and I'll show you how it looks as we go on a little bit more. But what I found this whole week wearing it is that 1 pump to me looked the best. But when I did go to 2 pumps, it was definitely more luminous and more radiant early on. So it's covering up, but I'm gonna say it's peeking through just a little bit. If you go to a 2nd pump, it will definitely cover more. If I come a little bit closer, you guys can see how nice and luminous it looks. It definitely has that luminosity to it right away, as you could see, but it's not oily. When I touch it right now, I do feel it on the skin, like almost like a little bit dewy, but not oily. No, I'm not sensing any oils, like oily from it. But what I like to do with a product is I like to let it sit before I apply anything else. I'm not a huge fan of powders. I haven't applied this product with any powders because I wanted all of you to be able to see how the foundation works on its own. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna apply a little bit of makeup, and I'll show you what it looks like after I have the rest of my makeup on. So I have all my makeup on. I kept it very, very simple because I want you to see how my skin looks with some makeup on. I don't really like powdering down my foundations personally. I don't like it on myself. But as you can see, as you're looking at me, I'm sure you see like a little luminosity as I'm turning, okay? And that's all coming from the foundation. I didn't add any highlighter. I didn't add any glow underneath this. I didn't add any glow primer. This is strictly moisturizer and the foundation. It's a beautiful, radiant foundation. I think if you have normal to dry skin, you are really going to love this because it's just going to give you that glow that you're looking for. I think if you have oily skin, it's going to be a little bit of a problem depending on how you set this down. So obviously you would want a gel primer prior, or you would want to have a mattifying primer, and you want to keep your base prior to putting on your skincare as simple as possible, so it'll help keep those oils kind of like pushed back. And you're going to want to set it with powder. Now, for argument's sake, I do want to show you what it's like when I powder it down so that you could see what happens when I do that. So I'm going to go in with the Kosas Cloud Set Powder. This is in the shade Comfy. I'm going to press down on this side so that you can see the difference on my right side versus my left. And I'm taking just a tiny amount of powder. So this side I added a little bit of powder, and then this side I have nothing. No powder, a little bit of powder. So it kind of drops it down just a little bit. Now, you can use like an RCMA powder or a Laura Mercier powder and really bake it down, and that will definitely bring it down a notch in terms of the radiance that comes through, and it'll kind of hold it back for a few hours. You can absolutely do that. If I'm going to buy a foundation like this, I want to see the radiance throughout the day. That's just what I'm looking for. So if you're not into luminous, radiant foundations, then this foundation is certainly not going to be for you. I'm not going to sugarcoat anything for anyone. After an 8 to 10 hour day, it really was radiant. Looked like my skin. My skin was peeking through at that point. It was really pretty soft. It looked good on my skin. And it just looked nice and luminous, to be honest. I didn't feel that I looked oily. It was more of this luminosity that was coming through. I just want to point out that I was able to see a little bit more texture on my skin with this foundation versus other foundations that I use, which is kind of common. I mean, we all have texture. You're going to see it. I know some people don't want to see any texture on their skin at all. But I think if you do use this and you powder it down, even if you have normal and dry skin and you powder this down, I think it would really, your texture will probably show way later on, many hours later. So I hope you guys enjoyed this review. Let me know your thoughts. Have you tried this foundation? Did you like it? Are you going to try it after seeing my review? You know I love chatting with you guys on here, so let me know your thoughts, and I'm happy to help you in any way that I can. If there's anything else that you'd like to see, comment below, and I'm happy to do a review on it, or on any tips or tricks or things that you need. I'm always here to help. Have a great day, and I will see you in my next video.